Welcome back to Lost Legacies.
A Hidden City Book Company production.
I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
Well, everybody, welcome back. It's another glorious day. Another glorious day in which we watched another glorious movie. And now we're here to share our thoughts with you. Ooh, I love your mug. Unicorn mug.
Oh, this was my D&D mug. I haven't used it since we played D&D.
Oh, God. All these years.
Dude, I know it's been a long time, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta dust it off and use it again.
I think I have my I have like a big like vampire goblet that I also haven't used since since we played D&D.
So now I'm thinking this is like my podcasting cup now.
Oh.
Especially because I want to do more weird sci-fi, fantasy, whatever, you know?
Let's just go all in on it, you know. I feel like I was being like, oh, I don't know, like being a little wishy-washy a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, I don't know what else. I don't want to be too weird. And I'm like, no, we're gonna be full weird.
I'm going weird, but then I'm also going like super normal. Like like I have MCU movies on my list just because I'm not caught up. So if we get to it, we get to it. If not, I'll just put the next MCU movie on there. You know? So yeah, it's a mix. And then there's also like Chef. So I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's true. There are a couple of ones that I'm also like, oh yeah. Like, whoa, like I get normal movies, but like I feel like
mainstream.
Yeah, more mainstream, you know. But yeah, I mean, like, cause I think I put on here like The Wages of Fear because I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, it's like a classic black and white movie that like everybody talks about. So I'm like, okay, well, I want to watch it. So yeah, like that movie's on here too.
Nice. So, well, I look forward to it because I'm like not every day, but like every week I'm adding at least like one new movie to my list. So lot to look forward to, but we got a lot to talk about this episode.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's been 2 weeks since we recorded. Is there anything hot ticket that we need to discuss super quick?
I mean, you sent me the Clayface trailer literally like 5 minutes before we jumped on, and
yeah, what's your hot fresh takes?
I could not be more in.
Oh, me too.
I was already in, but then I was a little out because I think I was a little out because I love Mike Flanagan, and when I found out he wasn't directing it, I was like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know, like, but you know, thinking back on it, it's like, well, he like a lot of like Haunting of Hill House and Bly Manor and Midnight Mass, like he also didn't direct, but you know that doesn't mean that he didn't have like a huge
script,
hand
though,
in
right?
it. Yeah. So it's still his script. He handpicked the director. I don't remember the director off the top of my head, but I was in. Having just seen the trailer, this little teaser, I'm in. I'm fully in.
It was a great teaser.
My butt is sat on October 23rd. Yeah,
a lot faster than I thought. So yeah. I'm in. Real quick, is my audio okay?
Yes.
Sound good? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We didn't do an audio check this episode, guys.
Testing.
All right. I don't want this episode to go 2 hours, so it's been 2 weeks since we recorded. So got some bullet points we got to get through real quick.
Okay.
One of the reasons we didn't get to record an episode last week, everyone, sorry about that. Scheduling was just crazy. Sam got to come home for a week, although he was working. Sam, how was your week home/working?
It's so funny. Kat and I just talked about this just before we hopped on. And she was just like, it feels like even though I was working, it felt like I was on vacation. I came back and I looked like I had just come back from vacation. And that's that's kind of how it felt too. Like, even though I had something to do every day, you know, we were working almost every day. I'm like, it still felt good. You know, it felt nice to be around familiar people, familiar faces, familiar haunts, you know? So that was good. And I felt great. Nice. I felt great coming back.
Well, you're welcome back anytime. Movie news. Alex Garland confirms Elden Ring starring Kaylee Spiney.
Yeah.
That's how you say it.
Yeah.
Um, Elden Ring's not my thing. I love that world. I love that lore.
Hmm.
The game itself is not for me. That's one of those.
Yeah.
I don't like combos, you know. So when it came to like Tekken and Mortal Kombat, I was just mashing buttons. So like
Sure.
combos aren't my thing. I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like that sums up like all of those Souls games. Like you have to play a certain way. You have
Yeah.
to do certain things to win.
It's
And it
combo and it's like strategy
well, you
and
see, it
timing
crosses
and
this
all that.
line because like there are tons of strategy games out there that
Hmm.
let you do what you want to do, you
Hmm.
know? But this is very much like you kind of cross that line into like in D&D we would call it like railroading, but
Mm.
that's more like storytelling wise, like no, this is what the story is. That's what I kind of feel like if you want to win, you have to play like this. Which I know
Yeah.
isn't 100% true because even though this game isn't for me, I love watching people play it because I love
Hmm.
like the story and the lore and just like the character designs are gorgeous. So yeah, all of that to say, Elden Ring the game isn't for me, but I'm really looking forward to the movie, and I'm kind of curious like how brutal is the movie gonna be?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
to me that's part of the world, part of the mystique of Elden Ring. Like it's a
Hmm.
brutal game.
It's also
So
interesting too because like Elden Ring is one of those games where it's like you, your protagonist, the character that you're playing, is very much built literally on how you build the character, you know?
yeah.
And there are different like archetypes that you can build from that then you can upgrade, but all those upgrades have like a different thing to do and
Hmm.
like it so it is kind of like if you choose like this background, you kind of have to choose these other things, which means that all these other stuff isn't going to work for you,
At
right?
least if you want to be
Um
optimized, sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like so on that aspect, like like I'm always curious on games like that are gonna get adapted. It's like how are you gonna do that? Like how do you make that kind of a protagonist into something that is watchable on film? You know,
Hmm.
it like and I guess that was kind of a thing with like the Dungeons and Dragons movie, you know, where it's just like, oh, like how are they going to do the characters? How are they
Yeah.
going to do the party? And then it's like, oh, well, we're just
Well,
watching. This
I
could be
mean,
somebody's game, you know?
yeah, I mean that's to be that's easy, you know, if you want to
Yeah.
play there's like a way to make like this like you know me and I love like constellations and anything celestial. So there's a way
Mm,
to do like this celestial warrior. And like you said, you have to get these upgrades, you have to get these this specific gear
mm,
to play that character. Writers don't got to do that. They just say, "Hey, this is this guy." You know,
yeah.
Chris Pine is a bard. It doesn't matter how. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
none of that really plays into it. It kind of gives you as a writer options of how you use them in the story. But it's
Mm,
like if your favorite character is a barbarian and there's no barbarians in this movie, you just you know, sorry, you're
mm,
out of luck. But
yeah.
if it
Yeah.
is, then you're just like, hey, all your the stuff you love is going to be there. But to me, the thing is intriguing is Elden Ring is a story, and the protagonist is very much just you because you're making this character, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, how are you going to translate that to a movie? It's not all the game mechanics, you know,
Mm,
and or is this just going to be like a brand new story in the Elden Ring universe? You know,
yeah. Yeah.
so if you
Yeah.
play the movie or if you play the game and then watch the movie, like, are they kind of references or what? You know,
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
unlike D&D where there is no like D&D main story. You know, it's
Yeah.
just different campaigns written by different people. So unless you're going to adapt one of those, more likely than not, a D&D movie is going to be a whole new original story where it's
Hmm.
just the setting is what's recognizable.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with that. So I don't know. That's an awesome world. Okay, I got a big topic. I'm gonna probably save till next week. Speaking of which, everyone, um, even though we had to take a week off this
Hmm.
month, next week is going to be another dad episode. So we're not going to be, reviewing a movie or anything. We're going to have dad on, hopefully,
Heck
schedule
yeah,
permitting.
heck yeah.
And I have some ideas. I have a topic, and I have maybe a little game for Dad and Sam to play. So yeah,
Can
that's
can I
next
get it?
week.
Can I get a hint of the topic?
Nope.
What the heck?
Well,
You just
because
said I have a topic, but I'm gonna save it for next week.
yeah,
Then why did you tell me?
I'll tell you about it after the pod. It doesn't matter. It's not in this episode.
All
So yeah,
right,
so next
fine.
week we're gonna have Dad. Last bit of news before we get this episode started.
Hmm.
Olivia Rodrigo's single finally dropped.
Oh yeah,
Dead.
yeah.
Uh, Thoughts, quick thoughts.
It was good. It was fun. Not what I was expecting, but well, I guess kind of what I was
It's kind of
expecting.
exactly what
Not,
I was expecting.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
not what I wanted, but
yeah,
it was good.
sure.
I liked it.
It's kind of just more of the same.
Hmm.
I'm not a big fan of it, but I don't hate it. However, I had a very similar feeling with Vampire, and
Yeah, that's true.
especially as like the first single for that album. I don't know if that was a good choice. I don't know if this song was a good choice.
Mm.
We don't have the album yet, so I don't know.
Hmm.
Uh, but I don't know. Because I had such low expectations for the first single. I'm still looking forward to the album. I think
Hmm.
Vampire is probably one of my least favorite songs on that album.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that kind of just gives me hope. It was just like, well, and I know she fought hard to make that one the lead single.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking with this next one. Even though this one might not be my cup of tea, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some stuff on it I really like.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish there was more like a progression and growth in the music. And
Hmm.
we didn't get that from this one like 2 minute song. So who
Yeah,
knows? It
yeah.
might be in later in the album. And that's a whole discussion because we've talked about it before, and there's a lot of theories and rumors going on about this album and this music video and song. Kind of gives me a rushed feeling for
Hmm.
an album that's taken 3 years. This single felt very rushed.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll
We'll
find out
see.
in June, July, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I don't
One of those
remember.
J's. It's in the summer.
Yeah.
So yeah. But speaking of Olivia Rodrigo and music,
Hmm. I think more so
what
just music.
music? I was making a connection, Sam. What are we
Okay.
watching? What did we watch today?
We watched a doozy of a movie. We watched 2025's Odessa, starring Sadie Sink, Kelvin Harrison Jr., and Regina Hall.
Yep.
Yeah, this I remember watching the trailer for this movie and just being like, okay, this seems kind of my vibe. Like I'm not exactly sure like what really is going on.
Hmm.
Uh but it's kind of post-apocalyptic. Sadie Sink's rocking a awesome hair, chopped haircut,
Hmm.
kind of looking like Vi from Arcane.
There were some scenes where like she looked very much like Vi.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't even know if this got like a I think this did. I think this got like a very limited theatrical release in
Mm,
2025, but I mostly knew that it was like limited release, but it was definitely dropping on Hulu.
yeah.
And then I just never watched it. But
Yeah.
I put it on the list cuz I'm like, well, I know that both you and I wanted to watch it. And that's what we watched today for
Hmm.
this episode.
Hmm.
So, Matt, what are your thoughts?
So, similar to you, I did watch the trailer when it came out. Thought it
Hmm.
looked good. Said I'll check it out eventually. Uh, Not really knowing what I was getting myself into. I
Same.
knew it was a post-apocalyptic, like rock opera. I was like, okay,
Hmm.
cool.
Hmm.
What I did not know is that it's a post-apocalyptic rock opera retelling of Orpheus and Eurydice,
Hmm.
which is very interesting selection, seeing that we just came off of watching Macbeth,
Yeah.
another literary favorite. Um, Not that Orpheus and Eurydice is, but at least to me. But
Yeah. Yeah.
so I'm just like, it's kind of too that cool that we did both of these back to back. But even more so than that, what I wasn't expecting was that like the opening of this movie was just what, oh dude, it's so insane. Uh there's so much exposition done in the opening, but it's done in a really cool way. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
even cooler than like Lord of the Rings, where they're literally telling you what happens. You know, it's like doing the Lord of the Rings opening, but through like scroll,
Mm-hmm.
through voiceover, and through song. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, this is rad. And when I was watching this, and I'm like, dude, this is exactly what Sam and I have been talking about for several weeks and throughout this podcast that we're looking for more of. And this movie is sword and sorcery. Like straight up. I think it's it helps that it's clearly inspired by the 80s. But
Mm-hmm.
watching that opening and seeing Odessa, the font show up, and like the heavy synth and electric guitar, I'm like,
And the
dude,
music come in, yeah.
I'm like, this is sword and sorcery. This is a movie where swords are guitars and sorcery is music. And I'm like,
Mm.
this is
Okay.
the classic
Okay.
story of a prince having to save the princess and just so happens to save the world in the process.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love this. That being said,
Uh-huh.
I had a lot of issues with this movie.
Okay. Okay.
More so disappointment than anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like overall the movie as a whole, I loved it. It was fun. I think it was very unique. I did look up, of course, is Matt's Midnight Flick. So I
Yeah.
finished like at 2 a.m. last night, and instead of going to bed, I instantly jumped on Letterboxd to see what everyone's thoughts were.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, everyone agreed with me.
Mm.
This movie was so damn cool except for the romance aspect.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really this story relies so much on the romance of the two leads to work.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't work, the whole thing kind of falls apart and the romance did not work at all. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Also, this wasn't this wasn't my thought, but I have to bring it up because every comment on Letterboxd did the same. Like, what is a lesbian and a gay man pretending to be in a straight marriage doing here? And I'm like, yeah, that's a choice, you know. I get it, man. Sexuality's fluid, but
Mm-hmm.
I just think it was a very odd combo of Sadie Sink, and I'm not too sure what the actor's name is.
Kelvin Harrison Jr.,
Melvin Harrison Jr. Sounds
who
familiar.
plays Yuri.
Yuri, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just the on their end, I don't really feel the chemistry between the two.
Mm.
And on the behind the scenes end, I just don't think the writing was there to support this relationship being what it needs to be for us to be bought in, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I can agree. I I think I I think I kind of enjoyed it a little bit more than you in the majority
Mhm.
of Letterboxd. Because I saw the same reactions too. And in
Yeah.
my mind I was just like, I don't know, I thought it was cute. Like I definitely agree.
Hmm.
Like I think that there's a chemistry that's a little lacking. But I don't know. Like I felt like they were able to like at least pull something that was enough for me to enjoy. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely think that it could have been better both in a performance but also just through the writing.
Sure.
And that is sort of my biggest thing with the movie itself is that like I think the writing is really what's kind of holding it back.
Hmm.
It definitely feels like it's trying to emulate like this specific type of rock opera
Hmm.
that anything that's not necessarily about this love story kind of feels like it's just kind of bouncing all over the place. I thought one of the stronger
Sure.
moments was when Odessa finally you know, gets to the dock and starts playing her song. And I'm like, oh, this is it. Like, this is where, like, we're going to start seeing, like, she's going to play her song and she's probably going to get, like, some, you know, like, some acclaim going. And then we'll see, like, more and more of it. And it's like, no, it kind of is, like, fully, like, she starts playing and suddenly, like, everybody's all in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
even the mysterious nuns are, like, part of her, like,
Mm-hmm.
ensemble, which I thought was rad. But
Mm-hmm.
it is this thing of it's like, wow, like all of these really like great moments were really like shortening. Like that
Sure.
song, like that moment, like
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of my thing. Like the songs are what is supposed to propel the story. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's like if a rock opera is a musical, but it is a musical in a way that's like almost a couple of steps. It's I mean it is exactly that. It is a couple of steps above of like a musical and a couple of steps down from opera. Opera is all completely sung.
Mm-hmm.
A musical has breaks in it, you know, where we
Yeah.
can act and where we can do stuff. If a rock opera is that, then your movie has to be rocking and rolling for the majority of the time, you
And
know?
I feel like that first 30 45 minutes it was
It
that.
was. Yeah.
So an example for anyone watching who hasn't watched the movie, you have stuff like Grease where the movie's going on and the story's going on, boom,
Mhm.
song. Movie's
Yeah.
going on, story, song. No, like the first 45 minutes of this movie is almost all song. Like
Yeah.
they'll take maybe a minute to do something, to do a little conversation, and then it goes into song.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. The best part of this movie was the music. Like I very
Yeah.
much believe that they had this idea, so they wrote the music first. And it was they did a bomb ass job.
It's a
You know,
hundred
it was
percent how they
it
did
was
it. Yeah.
great music. And then they had to go fill in the blanks. Okay, how do we get from this song to this song?
Yeah.
Because what you were saying, all the stuff outside of the romance is kind of everywhere. I almost disagree. I feel
Mm.
like the romance is what's pulling everything down.
Mm. Okay.
I
Okay.
feel like this was two stories. You have the story of the naive girl who falls in love with what'd you call him? Like a working
Yeah.
man, but not the Jason Statham type.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, he's not a working girl, but he's a working man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have that relationship and that love story. Okay. And then
Hmm.
the other story is a story about this young, naive rambler who's destined to save the world.
Hmm.
And never do they do those do does either story fit? Like they keep
Yeah.
bouncing off of each other. And I
Yeah.
think the coolest stuff was the music. It was the rambling, and it is the world, and the romance, which didn't work to begin with, just kept pulling it down. And I'm like, God, this sucks, because you get to a
Yeah.
point where you're like, damn, this is the type of movie it is. Like this romance is supposed to be leading it, and it's like I really wish she would stop and go back to busking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
No, I agree.
and I think that's why I'm trying not to be harsh on it, because I do really like this movie.
Hmm.
Uh, but it's not so much that, like, oh, there were bad things in this movie. It was just that there were things in this movie that didn't work, and it pulled down really, really cool ideas.
Yeah.
Music, awesome. I love the
Hmm.
music. Visually, this movie is beautiful. It's a trip. Acting, Sadie Sink stole it, man.
Yeah.
Like she can't really steal the show. It's her show, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
The concept, the story, the lore, like everything was so cool, but it's all bogged down by a love story that doesn't work. I'm like,
Yeah.
crap. And when the love story is that ingrained into it, it pulls everything else down, because I'm like,
Hmm.
if you think about the whole climax, I did love the whole third act, but at the same time, it's like, I really wish she wasn't doing this to save the guy she loves. I really wish she was doing it because she's the last Rambler, because it's her destiny to save the world, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I agree.
And that's where I was like, ah. I feel like this is a case of your concept stepping on your story. They said, I want to
Mm.
do a post apocalyptic rock opera about Orpheus and Eurydice. And
Hmm.
in the end, that's what held them down.
So I'm gonna buck slightly against
Okay.
something. So I watched like two separate kind of interviews. One was a very small podcast, and the other was like for VO records or something like
Okay.
it's like the YouTube channel that just has like a lot of music videos.
All right.
Um both of them were with writer director and co-composer Jeremy Jasper.
Mm-hmm.
And every single time he's talking about the story and where he came up with the idea of Odessa and what he wanted to do, he never mentions Orpheus and Eurydice. He
Interesting.
only says that his in his mind, this was always supposed to be like a post-apocalyptic western. It was always supposed to be
It
about
feels
the
that way.
Rambler.
Yeah.
The Rambler was always going to go into the town, fall in love with, like you have like the he's it's like a western trope, like the damaged dove, like
Mm-hmm.
always going to fall in love with her and do this stuff. And initially I think he had them gender swapped. Odessa was going to be a man, and
Mm-hmm.
then, Yuri, whatever Yuri's role was initially, was going to be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Sadie Sink came on board, and that's where they started changing things, and they're like, no, this
Yeah.
was perfect. That is also Sadie Sink singing and playing the guitar. She learned how to play the guitar for this.
Nice.
And she knocks it out of the park. But yeah, like,
And you
so
can tell it's her. I don't
yeah.
know if Calvin is doing his own singing and dancing because his face is covered in all those scenes.
I think
But
he's I think he's doing his singing. Jeremy did say that
okay.
he had a different interpretation of Yuri, and then
Yeah.
when Kelvin came on,
If he's
yeah.
singing, if he's doing his own singing, I mean, good for him. But I'm just saying, it just you can't see it because his face is covered, which is kind of. I was like, why are they covering his face? It's probably because he's not really singing. But then
Mm,
it kind of plays into the twist at the end. I'm like,
yeah,
all right. But I just bring that up because Sadie Sink, you can tell, is they're not dubbing
definitely.
it or anything. So
Definitely, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, like that's kind of the only thing, like maybe at a certain point the story did kind of take the shape of, like, because like, also, like, I feel like
Mhm.
this is just a very loose interpretation of Orpheus and Eurydice. You
It's a
know?
very common story, you go to
Yeah.
hell to save the love of your life, you
Yeah.
know. But I kind of feel like that was the whole time they're building up this concept of the game show The One. I was like, yes, this is how you do it. This is how you save the world. You're the
Hmm.
last Rambler. Uh, but then instead they have to do it as like, okay, she's going to Wonderland. She's going into hell to
Hmm.
appeal to Hades and Persephone, I think,
Yeah.
to get her lover back, right? And I'm
Yeah.
just like, all right. I feel like you have a concept, and the concept isn't as cool as like the original story that you're writing, like Odessa.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is one of those movies I would love to remake. I would just love to rewrite the whole thing,
Hmm.
like because all the pieces are there. They're just not in the right format. They're not in the right puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I also
Yeah.
think like I enjoyed the part of her like being this young naive girl, but then when you throw her into this relationship and that just ends up going by so fast
Hmm.
because you only got 2 hours, and it's just like, yeah, man, I don't know.
But that's the thing, like, you have 2 hours. There are other
Yeah,
movies that are able to pull off a concept, or of
right.
at least like that arc,
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
in a much more cohesive fashion,
yeah,
so it's like, yeah, like there is kind of something that's being, lost,
yeah.
lost there.
The way I would have done it, I would have started off with her already. I would go more Western. She's already the man with no name. She's the last Rambler. She's going
Hmm.
from town to town. And then you could do like flashbacks of when she was young and naive, and that's how you learn the prophecy. That's where she meets Yuri. Like all of that
Yeah.
stuff happens in flashback. And then your movie is her journey to save him, and at the same time become the one, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
all the good stuff was there in concept, but we spent so much time on a romance that didn't work. And I was like,
Yeah.
ah, crap.
I was gonna say this up top that like this reminded me of Streets of Fire. If
Oh, big time.
like this is like Streets of Fire's punky queer cousin, you
Hmm.
know? Uh
It's
but
kind
it's
of like what
almost
they
like
wanted to do with Streets of Fire, you know?
kind of, but I mean like here's the thing. I think Streets of Fire hit the nail on the head with the sledgehammer. Like
Yeah,
Streets of Fire executed its vision exactly the way Walter Hill wanted it to.
yeah,
They just didn't get the sequels.
yeah.
This feels like, hey, like we're kind of like we want to do this generation Streets of Fire, but we're also going to do it with this generation's idea of storytelling, which means we got to go to the origin and we got to see the
Mm,
origin and we got to play it out and we got to do this and that. And it's like, no, man, I would have started it like Streets of Fire, where you have, like everybody's singing in this competition
hmm.
in this sleazy dive bar in this crappy town. Everybody's drinking this stuff, this ooze that's poisoning and they're already poisoned. And then you get to Odessa, and instead of it matching like this high intensity, like everything is, we're all in an orgy of sound and bodies and light and all this stuff, and it's just overpowering. The light falls on Odessa, and she plays her song. And I would
Hmm.
let her play her song and then have the crowd kind of turn on her and just be like, no, boo, boo, like,
Sure.
so that you can see that, like, this is the Rambler, but this is the
Yeah.
Rambler that doesn't, they've got a lot of work to do. Like they have a long road ahead of them, but we as the audience and maybe a couple of people in the crowd know too that like there's something different about her, you know?
Hmm.
And then we can
It's
get the rest of the
it's really
story.
weird how it goes from that one scene where she's getting booed to everyone just showing up on the docks to cheer her on.
Yeah.
Again, that's kind of one of those things you really lose that transformation of the people,
Mm-hmm.
because everything's going by so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because I one of the coolest parts of this movie is the prophecy and her
Mm-hmm.
dad who was the rambler, and her mom's like disdain for him and the guitar. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, dude, I love all that. We still could have got that through the flashback. You do it exactly the
100%.
same, you might just
Yeah.
kind of move it to a different part of the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, oh man, I don't know. And also, if you do it that way, I know we're not talking about the movie anymore. We're talking about our version of the movie. But like Yuri's not even in it, so we don't have to worry about the romance working or not. You
Why
know,
is Yuri not in it? Hey,
because it's all flashback. So like you'll see him in bits in the flashback, just enough to tease it. But like cuz he's already captured. That's the thing. She's trying to get to him, like it's
okay.
just it's
That's
just right.
interesting.
The movie we got, like we said earlier, it's two different storylines that aren't meshing well together. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to find a way to mesh them together. So,
Mm-hmm.
and even like Plutanovich, I'm like the whole time I'm like I can't wait till we meet this guy. I want to see what they're gonna do with his character. And it's like okay, he's the showman or whatever. And then you get the one scene with him backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I was ready. I'm like, oh, this is great. His hair's down. And he's like, you did good out there. The way you approach blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, cool. But then it got just he's tired, but he's still like the same guy. I was like, oh, okay. I
Yeah.
was really hoping for something more. I was hoping for this thing of like they hint at it of but like the performer who's tired of performing. That's the whole
Mm-hmm.
thing. He's from an opposite one, he's completely opposite from Odessa because like he's like this I get like it's entertainer, but it's like this really kind of fake, showy, like a tech bro kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like Yeah, I always think of like when you see Robert Pattinson being goofy on the red carpet, and everyone's like, "That's who Elon Musk thinks he is." You know,
Yeah.
like he's making all
Yeah.
these goofy faces and stuff, and you're just like, "You're weird." Whereas right when Rob Pattinson does it, you're like, "Oh, Rob, keep walking. I got your picture." You know,
It's like
like
you're weird, but we like you, you know?
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
but yeah, like he's the opposite of the Rambler. You know, he's this corpo, and
Hmm.
but also he's tired of the performance. You know,
Hmm.
if that scene wasn't in the movie, I'd be like, okay, just a generic villain. But it's in there. They had the
Hmm.
idea. They had the right idea. They just did nothing with it. You
Hmm.
know, I'm like, I love that. This person who's she's a bard. Your lead character of the Sword and Sorcery pick is a bard,
Hmm.
and she's running up against the tired bard. You know,
Hmm.
someone who's just so done and who's sold their soul. It's no longer about the music or the entertainment or whatever it is. This is his thing. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, that is a gold mine. You literally came up with it in your story. You just didn't realize it. You
Hmm.
know, and like I was thinking if we really wanted to go dark, my kind of prediction was like, oh man, she defeats this guy, but the people still need their entertainment. So like like Odessa becomes the new Platonovich. Not in the same
Mm.
way, but like
Interesting.
now she's this icon and she can't escape. And I thought like that would be such a twisted ending.
Hmm.
Uh I prefer the ending we did get. But I'm like,
Same.
that's where I was thinking it was going. But
Yeah.
speaking of icons, I have my Chapel Roan shirt and background because the only Odessa background I could find in high quality is the one I sent to Sam. So I was like, all right, well, you got a redhead, and she's wearing the outfit for Swords and Sorcery,
Hmm.
and I got the shirt, so I'm like, all right,
I get it. I get it. It fits.
is that a
Also,
dove?
because, eventually we are just going to remake Star Night as a rock opera with Chapel Roan.
There you
So,
go. There you go.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this movie was cool.
Hmm.
It could have been so much cooler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what's here is good. But yeah, it is definitely, yeah, what's the thing? It's like it's a perfect like 5 star, 3 star movie. Where it's
Well,
like
you
it's
see,
like I think it's got everything going for it, but
I
yeah,
I
it's
would even
just
say I would say that for Streets of Fire. Like Streets of Fire did really good and it's a perfect movie for what it is.
mm,
You know? Uh Streets of Fire kind of comes down to your preference,
yeah,
you know?
that's true. That's true.
This though there are plot issues, you know? There are pacing issues. There are issues that prevents it from being that 5 star, 3 star movie, you
Mm,
know? And I'm like,
yeah,
damn.
yeah.
So that's my take. I think
Mm.
you probably dug it a little more than I did. Uh, but yeah.
I think too, like one, I really dug it,
Mhm.
right after finishing it, I was like, damn. He definitely had those issues, as I was watching, but like once
Yeah.
it was done, I was like, that was rad. That was cool.
Yeah.
It made me want to like go back and look at like the rock operas that I wanted to
Mm.
make, it's like,
Mhm.
which is kind of crazy considering that I have no musical inclination whatsoever.
Mhm.
I can barely sing. So,
You could sing
but
better than I can.
well, it's like, and I've been in choirs and I've done
Yeah.
a few musicals, but like I'm so self-conscious about my voice when it comes to other people because I'm just like, no, there are people that like, no, you like, if I were ever in a musical, I would feel so not
Mm.
like especially right now, like I would feel so like,
Yeah.
no, like you guys do this, like you guys have the voice. I'm just gonna be tree number two in the background and
Dude,
like,
I'm with you.
doing this with
Yeah.
my branches. But I love musicals so much, like
Yeah.
that was kind of my bread and butter, into like in middle school and high school. Like I just really clued in onto like the stuff that I really liked and started writing my own stuff.
Yeah.
Um and so yeah, like I was really vibing with this, and then hearing that so both composers of this movie, they're both musicians, and they were in bands, and they've been musicians like for a long time. They were in like the New York underground scene at the
Mm,
same time, and then they, just by circumstance and stuff, like they kind of just came together, and they've been collaborators for, for a very long time. And so when you're coming at it from like that, and knowing that, like, oh, this guy, Jeremy Jasper, he's he's been kicking around Odessa for a very long time.
right.
He wanted to make it like his first movie.
Hmm.
And when he pitched it to his producer were like, "There's absolutely no way anybody's giving you money for a rock opera western in the
Hmm.
post-apocalypse. Like, there's no way that's happening." So he made another movie, and people liked it, and he was just like, "Well, let's really like try and consider like how we would do the movie, right?"
Hmm.
And I think I can see this as sort of like, this is kind of like a concept album. Like, this is
Mm,
the visual representation of a concept album
hmm.
of the last Rambler, and like going out there, and having to save the world with the guitar in your hand and a song in your heart. And I don't know if this is how you're supposed to view movies, or if this is how you're supposed to talk about movies in a critical way. But on that level, I'm like, well, that just kind of makes me vibe with it even more. Having
Mm,
the idea of like it's kind of like knowing where like the author is coming from, or like the political time that is coming
sure.
from, when an author writes their book. And you're like, oh, well, I get it. Like, I understand why this is the way it is and why they're writing this way. That's kind of how I feel
Hmm.
about this movie. It's like knowing that these two guys were musicians, and coming from that background of like being like in the punk scene, and
Hmm.
then and just being like different like visual artists too, like coming together to have it be this kind of a movie. I'm like, yeah, like this feels like a concept album made into a film.
Hmm.
And I think it could be a lot worse, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
like could it be better? Absolutely. And
Hmm.
and I don't think I disagree with any of the things that you've brought up,
Hmm.
even the romance angle. It's like, as much as there was enough for me to enjoy, I do agree that like that central key romance
Yeah.
doesn't doesn't necessarily work the way it should, so it really brings down
Yeah.
the film. But on the whole, I'm like, it's still a rad movie, and I'm
Hmm.
glad it exists, because
I
now we get to talk about it in this way, and I
yeah.
hope we get more of this, not necessarily sequel, but like, I want more movies like this.
I want movies to take a swing, and that's what this
Yeah,
movie did.
yeah,
And I give big credits to this Jeremy Jasper guy because um, a lot of my issues with this movie you can chalk up to like, well, first time writer. I don't
yeah,
know if he wrote his other movie he did, but like if you look at his IMDb, it's all music videos.
yeah.
So the fact that like this is one of his first movies, and for the most part it was pretty solid. I'm like, man, this is incredible. And
Hmm.
honestly, the music video quality to this film is one of the best parts.
Yeah.
There's so many music video directors who go on to do features, and it doesn't work. You can tell like they don't know what their medium is. You
Mm.
know, this guy, it's like his medium is music video,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
made it translate into film, and it was really good. Like I'm watching it, and despite my problems with it, I wish I had seen it in theaters because the music is so good and it fits the world so well, and the visuals. I'm like, damn,
Hmm.
I wish I saw this in theaters.
Yeah.
So
I do
yeah,
I do kind of feel that like like the music doesn't have as lasting of an impact as I feel like it should, but like, cuz it works for the movie. I don't know.
sure.
Maybe I need it, maybe I just need to listen to the soundtrack by itself, you
I
know.
did today and I loved it.
Oh.
And I'm like,
Oh,
this
okay.
is great. And
Okay.
I feel
Well,
like
there
it's
you
the
go.
opposite. I feel like
Yeah.
the music is the strongest part of this movie.
Yeah.
It does the musical right. you know? And
Mm.
I'm like, I love how it's telling the story through music.
Hmm.
And you're not lost if you're like, what are they saying? I just listen to the tunes, not the words. Like you still get the point. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, man. Yeah. Again, I feel like I was a bit harsh on it, and rightly so, but there was so much that was cool. I love, love, love. I think my favorite part's the opening. Like
Mm.
just because it's the most cinematic, it's the most music video like, but it's
Hmm.
also the most like surreal. It's like very dreamlike and magical, you
Hmm.
know? And again, going in from the opening and be like, oh, dude, this is swords and sorcery. And then having that vibe, that style, and it's just like, oh, your
Hmm.
father, the mysterious stranger, he was the rambling man,
Hmm.
you know?
I
They
love
bring the casket back, and
I
it's not
love
his
that.
body, it's the
It's his
guitar.
guitar.
I was like, dude, yes. And then how the guitar itself is like magic. You know, I'm
Hmm.
like, dude, I'm like, this is so rad. Oh, okay, the idea of her being the seventh son. I'm like, magic, you know?
Yeah. Doesn't
So
matter if you
good.
don't doesn't matter if you got a pecker. You're the seventh son. That's
Dude,
the only quote in the IMDb too. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh my God.
I love it, dude, because they probably, I don't think they changed anything script wise by gender swapping it.
No,
You
probably
know,
not.
there's no reference to her being a girl.
Hmm.
So, yeah. Um,
Hmm.
I totally see that. But and it works. It's not forced. It fits that world. You know, I thought that was like, okay, it's very interesting. Like it's very obvious that the roles are reversed with Yuri. You know, I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, this is typically the part that goes to a woman. This is the damsel in distress. This is the working girl who has to deal with, you know, the misogyny, sexism, and unwanted advances of drunk guys. I'm like,
Hmm.
it's clear as day. This is gender swapped, but it's never like overtly like in your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's done all very natural, and I dug it. You just accept like this is the world. This is the world they created. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, cool. I like it. Uh, uh, I oh crap. What was I gonna say? Um, I liked. Okay, I mentioned the seventh son. I really like that, dude. When she loses the finger, I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect her playing at all
No.
whatsoever. In fact, she uses the lipstick holder as like an alternate finger, which acts as like a capo on her guitar. And I'm
Hmm.
like, dude,
Hmm.
yes, yes. I'm like, only a musician would think of that. You
Hmm.
know, I was like, that is so rad. I do wish we heard more of the song with just one chord because I thought that was a really cool twist. You know,
Yeah.
if you really are the one, you can play with only one chord. And
Yeah.
those first couple chords, I'm like, okay, I'm in.
Hmm.
But then you added the band and stuff. I'm like, okay. They went to the Euphoria School of Music where they strategically know when to insert the choir. I'm like, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're doing.
That was kind of my thing. Like I wanted to hear more. Like I wanted to hear more of Odessa, just Odessa. It's
Yeah,
like
especially in the last song.
yeah, yeah. Especially in the last song, like I felt like the busking song, and then yeah, like the last song. I'm like these are the moments
Yeah,
where it's like it should just be her.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
like for the last song, like you could like she goes on long enough and then we can build up to having the rest of the
yeah,
choir, like
yeah,
let's just not have a this and then immediately jump into like all you need is love or something like that,
yeah. May,
yeah.
maybe because I was thinking the whole movie, it's loud.
Hmm.
It's singing. There's other musicians playing along, even when
Hmm.
it's just her, you know? And I love that. I love her the rambling song when it's like her montage of her traveling. I'm like, I love
Hmm.
this. Uh the last song, in my opinion, I get it that art is subjective, so we could debate it, but in
Sure.
my opinion, that last song should have just been her.
Mm.
It should have just been one chord.
Yeah.
Now I understand how difficult that is to pull
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
So I get it. But to me that's the Mr. and Mrs. Smith moment. Like, oh, we don't really need the music to represent the relationship at the end.
Oh.
Shut up, Doug Lyman. It's Joe Strummer. You play the damn song, you
Mm-hmm.
know? That's kind of my feeling with this. I'm like, you don't need the nuns rocking along with her.
Hmm.
It's just Sadie Sink at one string, if it's possible. I know
Yeah.
that's a big ask from a non-musician to a musician. Just
Yeah.
give me Sadie Sink at one string. That's
Which
it.
is, well, which is why I was trying to compromise and be like, no, because I do think
Mhm.
from a musician side, I can see how difficult that is.
Yeah.
I would have just preferred if it was her by herself for a little bit longer
Yeah, you could
and
build to
then we
it.
build into it. It's
Right.
not because as it is, it's like it's her by herself for like a little bit and
Yeah.
then the band comes in like almost
Yeah, yeah,
immediately
yeah.
after like once she gets to the chorus, it's like the
There's
band's fully
basically no
in,
difference
you know.
between that song and the rest of the soundtrack. Like,
Exactly,
it's not
exactly.
even I don't even know what that song is. Like
Yeah.
it's not one of my favorites on the soundtrack. It was just another one of Odessa's songs,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Whereas the earlier stuff, it was it's kind of weird because like that moment is a moment where like you're telling the audience, "Hey, hey, this is a good song.
Mm.
This is an important song."
Yeah.
Whereas everything else is just like, no, it's just real. It's just from the heart. Like, you know, I'm not trying to save the world. I'm not trying to save, my boyfriend. I'm just singing about what's real, and the songs feel that way and they're relatable and they're fun. Like to me, there was nothing unique about that final song compared to the others, you
Hmm.
know. That's why I mentioned just doing the one string and just an acoustic song. You listen to the words, you
Yeah.
know like really let it sit, and then I think
Hmm.
that would also enhance all the viewers performances, because I thought everyone watching the TVs did great. I love the mean pawn shop lady. She's getting emotional there.
Yeah.
I love the little girl Roach watching, and even the guy who's like he has the swirly eyes and they start to clear up. I'm like, this is all good stuff.
Hmm.
This is the moment where you stop the music video antics and you get back to what's real,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? And yeah, but again, that's just my opinion. Obviously, the musicians, the real life professional musicians who made the movie,
Yeah.
thought otherwise. So, it's hard to argue with that. But yeah, it felt like there's a lot of emotional beats that this movie kind of just went over. A big one was when she was leaving the city and then
Mm.
she has a flashback to her destiny and everything that she was supposed to do. And that's when she decides, yes, I'm going to save my boyfriend. Not, I'm going to save the world. I'm going to save my boyfriend.
Yeah.
So it's things like that. But
Yeah.
all in all, it's a solid flick. Like, I really dug it. It's really hard to rate this one because I don't think it's as low as a 3,
Mm.
but I'm kind of struggling to give it any higher than a 4. So
Hmm.
right now it's kind of sitting at a 4 for me,
Oh,
which I
okay.
think is
Yeah.
cool. But I know a lot of other 4-star movies that weren't as that I didn't enjoy as much as this one. So
That's true.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah. So yeah, all in all, I dug it. Regina King, man, uh, she's a trip, man. I enjoyed her. I have trouble. This is my own personal bias. I cannot watch Regina King without thinking of her from Scary Movie, because I think that was like the first thing I saw her in.
Yeah.
And to be fair, this movie she's supposed to be ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
SNL did a whole sketch like based off of her haircut. Not this character's haircut, but off of a character they made had a haircut exactly like that.
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm thinking of it this whole time, like, dude, this is nuts.
If
So,
like if there is an egregious crime in this movie, it is the haircut that they give to Regina King. I'm
but it
like,
fits the world, dude. You know what I mean? So, like,
yeah,
I
but
can't complain too much.
these
So,
like I don't know, man. Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I kind of wish was in this movie, though?
What?
It's unnecessary, but like, I thought would have been really kind of weird or twisted. I wanted the scene where he's like massaging her knee to be more sensual, like
Mm,
forced. I like
yeah.
because we got traces of that through her performance,
Hmm.
throughout the film. But like, I really kind of wanted to push that scene a little further than it went, especially because Yuri's acting like he did good in it, but that's one of my things where like I really hate to see it when like characters who usually seem competent kind of just throw it out of the window and he's like, yeah, I'm lying to Regina King's character, who's Dion, who's clearly scary, and it's like,
Yeah. Oh
okay, I
yeah,
get
yeah.
that. But then he keeps like looking
Yeah,
back to the
like
bathroom. I'm like,
eyes
dude, come
darting.
on.
It's like, what's wrong?
You don't need
Nothing.
to. And that could be a mix of the acting and the editor because you know what I mean? Like that's a mix. You
Sure.
didn't need to make it that obvious. But yeah, I wanted them to push it. I kind of wanted like the knee scene from Kingsman with Rasputin. Like, do you remember that one?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Where that was really weird. It felt out of place in that movie. But like
yeah.
I feel like something like that would have fit perfect in this movie with the vibes of this movie and like the
Hmm.
vibes of Dion. I thought like it felt like it was being a little bit safe. Like we don't want to push this too far.
Yeah.
It's bad enough that we have The Weeknd making cameos. It's not really
Wow.
The Weeknd, guys.
I
It's not
was
really The
gonna
Weeknd.
say, yeah. I
It's
know
his
that that's not
it's
the
his
weekend.
character, right? Like I forgot what that character's name is, but
Sure.
the character he's played in like his last two albums.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, dude, the face job. I'm like, dude, that's wild.
Oh man. I
So
I didn't cackle I laughed because I'm like, wait, I think I know what they're gonna do. Like
yeah,
obviously Yuri comes out with the veil, and I'm like, I think I know what they're gonna do.
yeah,
Um, but just seeing it was just a whole other thing. I was like, oh shit. Oh
dude.
well.
Like it's supposed to be a terrifying moment, and it's not. It's kind of funny, you
It's
know.
not,
I'm
yeah,
like,
like it sucks. It sucks because it's heartbreaking. You're like,
it would have
oh
been more terrifying
man.
if he had actually spoken, like, because he's just silent through that scene. But if he had been like, because you're supposed to be brainwashed and you're reciting the Plutanovich stuff. If he
Yeah,
had been
yeah.
trying to talk, like that kind of would have been more
That could have
terrifying.
worked.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like as soon as he comes out again with the veil, I was like, oh no. But also my thing is like, and this I'm just kind of nitpicky now, but like I don't like the fact that he shows up on the show to
Hmm.
dance for his life. I'm like, the Yuri you've just showed me for this whole movie. Well, I don't know. Maybe he does do it. Also, we don't really get to see the dance in too much detail, but I'm
Hmm.
like, that's kind of the perfect revolution moment where he's like, nah, I'm not gonna dance. If you're gonna kill me, kill me. You know?
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
That's when Odessa shows up. That could
yeah,
have been a little just because I feel like his character needed so much more to really carry the weight of like, hey, this is a romance that works. And I'm like, I don't know. I wanted more from that
yeah,
character.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. So I had fun.
Well, on that note,
On that note, even though Dad's gonna be here next week, we will be watching a new movie in 2 weeks.
hmm, hmm.
So we're gonna have to Sam, you got a D20 on you?
I can grab one really quick.
Grab one real quick.
That was an at 20.
Ooh, that 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't remember what this is, so let me look this up
Oh
real
no.
quick. Let's see. I have so many movies on this list.
Uh-huh.
This next movie, unfortunately, it's not streaming anywhere.
Hmm.
It is available online, but you have to buy it like from Apple or
Hmm.
Amazon. Looks
Okay.
like it's like only a couple bucks, but I believe it's a French film. I
Okay.
believe foreign film.
Okay.
Christina, the director is Christina Boisita, Boisite, and
Okay.
Bruno Samper. We were going to be watching 2020's I'm sorry, 2022's Vesper, released in France, also known as Vesper Chronicles.
Oh, I know this movie.
I think we've
Um,
talked about it before.
yeah. It's kind of like a low budget, like a sci-fi kind of.
This is like a very indie biohacking
Yes,
movie.
yes.
Now, when I
Um,
say indie, I don't want you to think this is low budget because the reason this movie is on the list is because I was looking up weird sci-fi. This
uh-huh.
movie looks freaking gorgeous.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the visuals in this is incredible. I don't know how this wasn't put out by like a big budget Hollywood studio,
Mm.
and honestly, I don't know what biohacking is. It has to do with your body,
Yeah,
right? Hacking your body,
yeah,
like almost a
essentially.
cyberpunk thing, but I think it's less tech and
It's
more like
less
a
it kind of in
it's
more
like
like a Cronenbergian way where it's like you
it's
were
like natural, right? Like
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
you're not replacing your body with tech, but like replacing your body with like natural things, elements,
Natural things like
plants, organisms.
it's the concept that your body is the machine
Mhm.
and you can alternate and hack stuff to make it a more complex machine,
Yes,
you know?
but the bio is specifically it's like it's not technology. It's
Yes,
more
it
of a
is.
nature type
Yeah,
thing.
it is
So
flesh. It is sinew and tendon and all that. Yeah.
next week we have Dad. The week after that, biohacking.
Woo!
I think a plant dad. Remember that episode from Goosebumps?
Yeah,
They
don't go into the
replace the
basement.
dad and they grow a new one with a plant as out of a plant. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think there's also Poison Ivy does that in Batman animated series as well.
Yeah.
She has the plant family.
She's reformed, which she kind of is, but yeah, she has the plant family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was sad, dude, because they die and like she's all
Mm-hmm.
brokenhearted, and we know
Mm-hmm.
she's just gonna revert back to her villainous ways at this point.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, dude,
Yeah.
that's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
So, all
Well,
right,
also,
everyone.
you want to talk about trapping a lesbian in a heterosexual relationship? That episode where she's a full suburban house mom, with a
Yeah,
husband, he's never gonna
yeah. It
last.
was all what's the word when it's like it's just a cover? Um,
A ruse.
no, there's a
Oh,
specific name for having so like being in a straight relationship, having a straight partner when you're not. I forgot what that term is.
oh,
Um, a term for having a fake straight partner. A beard. It's a beard.
a beer.
A
Oh,
beard. Yeah.
okay, yeah,
A
yeah,
person acting as a straight partner to a gay or bisexual person.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can
Yeah.
see that.
Not saying that that's in the movie we're gonna watch, but
No, that has nothing to do with the movie that we're gonna watch.
biohacking. All right, this has gone on too long, damn it. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed Odessa either as much as we did or even more. Let us
Hmm.
know your thoughts. There was no comments on for the movie this time around.
Hmm.
So yeah, we'll see. Let us know what you think of Vesper from 2022.
Which I do believe you can watch on Shudder and AMC Plus.
Oh, there you go.
So
Nice.
there you go.
So, all right. Until next time, I really wish there was like a rambling kind of outro, you know?
Yeah,
But until then, get lost.
get lost.